Hello. Today we're going to draw a beagle, a dog, and this lesson is to teach. It's a lesson to try to learn to draw by using the grid technique, G-R-I-D. And what we have here is the diagram, and this here is not my drawing, but it's a lesson about learning to draw. So we're gonna use this here to help us learn to draw. Eventually, as you continue working on this type of technique, your brain starts doing the measurements in its brain. Yeah. It takes a while, it takes a little practice, but it works fine. And what I have done here, I have divided the drawing into 1 centimeter grids or squares, okay? And we're going to double that over on the paper. So if we look, we go ahead and measure across, and we have 8 centimeters with maybe 3-4 millimeters, which are going to be added to the end over here. Okay, and then we have down about 7 centimeters. So every centimeter is going to be equal to 2 centimeters. So every little square here on this paper here on the illustration is going to be 2 over here. So it's 1 to 2. So now this is like having a projector, having this on a projector and pulling the projector back, and enlarges the image to its proportions. So this is what we're going to try to do as we draw. Now the trick here too is that we want to get our mind, our thoughts, our approach to drawing objects, not to look at the object that we're drawing, but to look at the object as geometrical shapes put together like a puzzle. We're going to take these pieces of puzzle that I have, the major ones in red, and we're going to place them in this grid spaces, in these little squares. So all we have to do is that we break it into geometrical shapes, and we see and look where they intersect. Okay, so for example, I've outlined it in red. You can create your own, like here I created some geometrical shapes, and we look and see the intersections. So for example, on this here, I've numbered them 1, 2, 3 down to 9, and then the negative spaces in alphabetical order. Okay, so this way it makes it easier for you to look and see where does this line intersect the grid lines. So as you're doing this, it becomes easier, and eventually with practice and practice, you will be able to draw and be able to approach this with a more at ease effort. So, but we have to be patient, okay? We have to be patient. We want to have to try, and if we don't get it, we try again, you know? So this is the way it's going to work, because I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse this, and all I'm going to be doing is just drawing the picture, the illustration here. Okay, now where would I place it? Well, it depends on where you want to place it on your paper. This paper is 8.5 by 11. Okay, just regular paper. And if I wanted this dog to be further on this side, well, I would move my measurements to the side. So depending on where you want it, if I want my picture to be larger, well, I multiply or add to the measurements. Instead of 1, it could be 3 centimeters, 3 by 3 centimeters, and it would make it. Depends on the measurements and the paper that you have. So from here on, I'm going to try to draw it, and all you're going to be looking at is where do I intersect. Let's take just one for example. Let's look at number 3, the line segment 3. Here's line segment 3. And I look and see visually that the distance between here is double over here. So I make a little dot. Then I look at the line 2, So over here, if you were to take your measurement with a ruler, but you want to get into the habit of doing mentally, visually, okay? So you look and you would have about 5 millimeters. So over here, it would be about 1 centimeter. So now this point 2 here is this one here. And then notice that this one here hits over here. So I'll begin about twice visually. I would bring it here. Now when you're doing this, it doesn't mean that it's concrete. We can always change it. You can always correct it. Now the tip of the nose over here, I look over here and here. And then you just keep on looking, major points, and then you just connect them. You just connect them. Notice here, for example, the part of the eye here, it's a little further down from here in the line 2 if you were to do this here. And if you really want to get it really detailed, you can go ahead and further your grid measurements here. You see, and then you would create your sketch of the head. Okay, so now we have this 3 here, and then we would look under 4, line segment 4 and line segment 2. You would look, here's 4 and here's 2 over here, and I see where this comes in. I go in visually about how much it is, and then I would draw it. And you want to sketch it in lightly. Then if you look on 4, it goes about this here, about almost halfway on 4, so it's about almost halfway, and then you would draw that. So this is what I'm going to be doing, just checking to see where they intersect so that I can go ahead and draw the beagle. And it's only a lesson. It's a lesson on how to draw using the grid technique. Okay, so hang in there, be patient, and everything will work out to the measurements.